Welcome back to another episode of Back to the Futures, the official podcast of the Futures League. I'm Owen Shadrick. I'm joined by Emerson Baseball's own Matt Ferreira. Matt, your season's off to a hot start. Baseball's off to a hot start. Opening day in the major leagues is on release day. How are we feeling?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already crossed the corner of college, and now we're getting into major leagues, and we're almost at Futures League baseball. So it's been an exciting time, especially for us here at Emerson, just being playing ball, and I'm sure that all of our Futures League players feel the same.
Yeah, everybody happy to be back in full swing. We'll see some of our guys on opening day rosters, which is really exciting. Major League Baseball gets going on release day this Thursday. Matt, we had a new award come out this week for the Futures League 2 that we're excited to introduce for the 2024 season.
We do. The Futures League is proud to announce the creation of the new annual award in honor of the Vermont Lake Monsters' own Pete Wilk. Beginning with the 2024 season, the Pete Wilk Award will be given out to a persevering individual who has overcome injury, illness, or personal tragedy to make an impact for their team on or off the field.
Yeah, nobody showed more what that means than Vermont Lake Monsters manager Pete Wilk, who was diagnosed with brain cancer this past summer. We've been praying for him. You know, the Lake Monsters have done some incredible things, and now we're happy, the Futures League, to be on board with it as well, turning out this award. It's going to be great, and we're excited to see who wins that for years to come. Along with that award, we've announced various roster announcements on our social media, and we have a pretty big one on this podcast. The Norwich Sea Unicorns are proud to announce that Brennan Hyde, one of their leaders from their championship team last season, will be back this summer with Kevin Murphy to help the Nichols 2.0 Norwich Sea Unicorns raise another banner in Norwich. We talked to Brennan about this summer, what he's looking forward to. Of course, we touch on the championship season. Last year, he was an all-star last year. We touch on that. The all-star game is in Norwich this summer. We definitely talk about that. And Matt, it was great to hear from Brennan and how excited he is to come back for 2024.
Yeah, Futures League champion returning is always fun to see, especially when you got a few of your teammates and even a coach maybe on that team. So we'll see how they do, especially with Nichols and then turning the corner into the Futures League.
Yeah, it'll be great to see. And we don't want to waste any more of your time. It's time for Brennan Hyde. Here he is on Back to the Futures. We are honored to welcome on our next guest here on Back to the Futures. He is one of the many returners for the 2024 season and is a 2023 Futures League champion for the Norwich Unicorns. It's Brennan Hyde. Brennan, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing great, man. And I mentioned it off the top. You are returning for the 2024 summer. What brought you back to Norwich?
I think just, the environment we had last year and, playing for Kevin Murphy, it's really persuaded me to come back, and I love playing for Norwich. The fans are great. Everyone treats us so well. So it was a big deciding factor in me coming back, trying to bring back another championship to the Rose City. So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, your coach, Kevin Murphy, we know he was a big part of that. We'll get to him in a little bit, but we got to ask, last time we spoke was before the 2023 All-Star game, which seems like an eternity ago, because since then you become a Futures League champion. What did it mean to win the 2023 title?
It meant a lot. I mean, that's something we all play for, playing in the Futures League. You want to win a championship, having to go through that long season, you want to make it worthwhile. So, for us to win a championship that, the first one in Norwich's history too, it really meant a lot for us and the city. So, I'm really looking forward to it again.
And when you try out for that last inning to win the championship, a lot can happen in 3 outs. What was your reaction when you guys finally got that final out and won the championship?
I mean, just pure excitement and joy. I mean, there's, running out to the field in the bottom of the ninth, a close game. There's a lot of adrenaline pumping through your body, a lot. And, the fans really got behind us. And I mean, once we got the final out, the strikeout, just pure happiness, and just we all felt accomplished.
Yeah, and what an accomplishment it was. And obviously you played a major role, but I want to ask about your teammates. Dean Ferreira, the regular season MVP, and Johnny Knox, the playoff MVP. Both guys were spectacular all year. What
Yeah.
was it like playing with those guys and seeing them have so much success to help you guys bring that championship home?
I mean, playing with them is amazing. I mean, just to see how they go about their day-to-day routine is something that I take notes on because, you can always learn from somebody, whether it's, coaches, teammates, whoever. So I always took notes on how they go about their business, and playing with them was just an honor. I mean, Dean coming from Fairfield, never met him before until the past summer. And, he's a really great kid, really, really good ball player. And I know he's putting up really good numbers at Fairfield right now. And, Johnny being my college teammate, it's always a privilege to play with him, at school or in the summer. So it's something I don't take for granted.
And we often talk about the players that go out and play and win the championship, but Coach Kevin Murphy was also named Coach of the Year. What did he bring to your team in the locker room, and how did he push you guys to go win a championship?
Yeah, I mean, he'd always give us motivational speeches, the Kevin Murphy way. And I think we all embraced it. He's a great guy to play for, and I look forward to playing with him again this year, because he really lights a fire under our butts and gets us going whether we're down, up, doesn't matter. He always you know wants to win every game, and that's what I really appreciate about Murph.
Yeah, and the Kevin Murphy being a coach is so unique, especially in Norwich, because the amount of teammates he brought from Nichols and you being one of them. What did you see from him at Nichols and kind of his mentality playing baseball that he brought to Norwich as a coach?
I mean, he brings that intensity. It was the same thing here when he played for Nichols, and the same thing at Norwich. He always brought intensity, and that's something I've noticed. And it really transfers over to us because you can see it in the way we play. We bring intensity. We're quick. We do all the little things, and that's something that I think really helped us along the way to win a championship.
And then either when he was your teammate, obviously he was an upperclassman, or as a coach, any advice that he gave to you that's really stuck with you throughout your playing career?
I think just to really just have fun with it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game, and you know, it's something we can't take for granted, and it's something we just have to appreciate and never let the highs get too high, never let the lows get too low. And that's something I've really applied to my game. And he's a great example of that. I think he really implements that in us. And he just wants the best for us and brings it out of us. So that's something that, I really take away from him.
Yeah, we had Kevin on this show. It seems like an eternity ago, but
Hmm.
when he came on the show, he talked about that. He wanted to keep the game fun. He wanted everybody to have a good time, but also when it was time to lock in. And you
Yeah,
guys certainly locked in during that postseason,
100%.
that's for sure. And I mentioned it. We talked about the last time we talked was before the 2023 All-Star game. I want to get your thoughts on the results of the All-Star game. How was it for you? What were the experiences like playing with all those guys from around the Futures League?
I mean, it was a blast, really, to be around such a talented group of guys and, have fun for a couple of days. It was certainly a great experience. It's something that will stick with me for the rest of my life, and I'm grateful to have played in it and been around all the festivities. Um, and getting to just, meet all the guys from different levels, D1, D2, the D3, didn't matter. They all treated us with respect, and it was great to kind of pick everyone's brain and see how they played the game and whatnot. um and it was just a really fun experience overall. That's something I'm appreciative for.
And it's been announced that this year the All-Star game will be coming back to the Rose City. How excited are you for that and to have the fans behind your back throughout the game?
I mean, that's something that's incredible, really. To have the All-Star game in the Rose City, it's gonna be a really fun experience. I know all the fans are looking forward to it, the players are looking forward to it, coaches, all the staff. It's going to be a great time for the city. It's going to put us on the map and, do great things for us. I think it's something that will, I mean, with the home run derby especially, it's going to be interesting because, Dodge Stadium's kind of a graveyard, so it'll be fun to see who can, you know, tally up the home runs there. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great time.
What should those coming to the game look for, and what are the best parts of Norwich or your secrets of Norwich that you want to tell fans coming to the All-Star game?
I think people should look forward to, just watching some quality baseball. I mean, you're getting the best of the best around the league, no matter what. Pitching, offense, defense, you're getting the whole nine. And some of these guys, who knows, they might be in the league. So looking at all this talent, it's gonna be a really good time. And as far as, Norwich can visit the beaches in southern Connecticut. Those are really nice. I've been there, having lived with Ben Jerome. His family hosted us and they live right by the water. So going to those beaches was a great time. And yeah, it's about it really.
Yeah, that's great. We're super excited to see baseball in its purest form in Norwich for the All-Star game at the end of July. And you are back for 2024. You're one of many returners around the Futures League, but specifically in Norwich. Any thoughts on the roster construction so far? Have you seen it? Have you heard of any guys that are coming back? And is there anyone that the fans should look out for in particular?
Yeah, I took a quick glance at it earlier today. I saw that Justin Marks from Eastern Connecticut State, he's coming back. Joey Agar over at Mount St. Mary's, he's coming back, a catcher. And then we also have one of my current teammates here in college, Aiden Witten. He's a pitcher. He'll be coming in. Um, and I saw there's just, a bunch of guys all around New England, D1, D2, D3 that are coming in. So I'm excited to get to meet those guys and get to mesh with them and play some baseball. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hold on, we'll get right back to the futures, but first, we want to share a message from our friends at 78 Sports. Do you have kids playing baseball or softball? We all know practice time is limited, especially here in New England, not to mention the cost of lessons and cage time can add up very quickly. Save yourself time and money by giving your kids what they need to work on their game at home. Our friends at 78 Sports can help you put together the perfect at-home training setup. Whether you want to start small with just a tee and a net, or looking to set up a full cage with turf and a pitching machine, they have you covered. And I've used their stuff before. I've seen their facilities. They definitely cover everything. The team at 78 Sports design and install hundreds of at-home and commercial sports training facilities. So let them help you find the perfect setup for your space. Visit the 78 Sports website at 78sports.com. That's SEVENTY, the number 8, sports.com. For a limited time only, by just mentioning Back to the Futures, you'll receive a 10% discount off your order. That's SEVENTY, number 8, sports.com. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And flipping over to the current college season, Nichols right now you're sitting at 9-5 and just started conference play. How is the team morale going into conference play, and what's your guys' goal for the season?
I think we have a really solid team. Honestly, this is my fourth year now here. I think this is the most well-rounded team we have. We can pitch, we can hit, play defense, and run the bases. So I think we have a really good shot to do some special things here. I know it's something that has been, coming for a long time. We haven't won a CCC championship here ever, and we're looking to be the first team to do so here. Um, so I think if we just, stay the course, we can eventually get there. There's going to be some obstacles along the way. I mean, I know we have Endicott, who's, ranked one in the country, but, we're always looking for a challenge. And I think if we play the game how we know we can play it, I know we can get there and, win a championship.
And rankings are just a number. I've seen my fair share of anything can happen in a baseball game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have a few teammates at Nichols that were also your teammates in Norwich, like Johnny Knox and Ben Jerome. What's it like to see some familiar faces year round, either at Norwich or at Nichols?
I mean, it's awesome. We all have a great connection. We're all in the same grade. We're all seniors, so we've been together 4 years now, and we've really gotten to know each other. On the field, outside of the field, we've always just hung around, and it's created a bond that I think will last a lifetime between us, and it's something that I don't take for granted. Um, I'm lucky to have been around such great guys, playing with them, just hanging out off the field. So it's something that's very special to me.
Yeah, it's great to be able to not only play with those guys in the summer, but go back and go for it in college too. It's great. And from your teammates to yourself, you're hitting 315 this season, 9 extra base hits, and 13 RBIs. How have you felt so far this season? And how do you continue to put up these great games?
I felt pretty good so far. Coming off a really good spring season last year. I think this year, I'm looking to do even more damage. And having been around the league for a while now, it's something that's gonna be a little tougher because guys are pitching me a little tougher now with off speed because they see my numbers and they throw me sliders, changeups, all those pitches. But I'm trying to adjust to it and do what I can with that and just ultimately just produce for the team. That's my main goal really, is whether it's, hitting a sac fly or just driving someone in, moving a runner. I'm just trying to do it all really. And, let the numbers speak for themselves. Whatever happens, happens.
And you talked about a good year last year where you were named first team all conference for the CCC. What led to your success last year, and how are you trying to replicate it this year?
I think just staying level-headed last year, really. Like I said before, I don't try to let the highs get too high and lows get too low. I just try to stay even keeled along the whole way because it's a long season, 40 plus games. Um, so I just try to take it, day by day, pitch by pitch, and not try to look too ahead of the future or look back on the past as some failures. I just try to, stay in the moment. Really, yeah.
And sometimes in college, we see some late bloomers who come in and have a good year or two towards the end of their towards the end of their careers. But you were always really good, even in high school, where you racked up hardware in high school, receiving the FIAA State Sportsmanship Award and the Hillsborough County Public Schools Athlete Award. What were your reactions and emotions for being honored at the county and state levels?
I mean, I was really excited to receive those awards. It's something really in high school where, you're just kind of playing as a team. You're not really too worried about awards or anything, really. But I think just the team we had and the coach I had, Coach Jason Smith, I'll give him a shout out. It's my guy. I still talk to him to this day. Um, I think he really pushed me really hard to become the best player I could be and the best teammate I could be. And I really credit that to him because, he kind of set those, he kind of like had that kind of standard for our team. And he really applied that to me. Especially when he named me a captain as a sophomore. I was a captain for 3 years in high school. And so he really expected the best out of me, and I tried to give him the best.
Before we return to Back to the Futures, we want to share a message from our friends at Zorian Bat Company. Rob Zorian started the company, Zorian Bat Company, in 2003, literally out of the trunk of his car in Davie, Florida. Within 2 years, he was selling his wood bat line to Major League Baseball and continues to manufacture the highest grade wood bats for Little League all the way up to the majors. Rob Zorian, founder and president of Zorian, says, I started the company in 2003 to service all baseball players in the United States and beyond. And after 19 years, our mission has not changed. We are very excited to have the opportunity to work with the Futures League and wish all of our players and coaches a healthy and successful season ahead. For more information about Zorian, visit their website, zorianbats.com. Zorian, America's baseball brand. Now, back to the Futures.
And you're originally from Tampa. What was the recruiting process like, and how did you end up at Nichols?
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty tough. My junior year of high school, I had Tommy John surgery, which eliminated my whole junior year. So at that point, I was pretty, I was pretty skeptical about where I could go. I was looking at maybe some JUCOs in Florida, D2s. I wasn't really looking at too many D3s until my senior year, really. That's when I really expanded my horizon, and I realized that if I want to play every day, I mean, I'm perfectly okay going to a D3 school, because I know great opportunities can arise from it. And Coach Goss, our former pitching coach, he's the one that first hit me up. I spoke with him, and then I spoke with Coach Mayo afterwards. And all this was happening, while COVID was going on, so I couldn't really go anywhere to tour. Um, I pretty much just did a virtual tour and just saw through a computer screen what the school looked like, everything. So it was pretty tough. Pretty much it was pretty much just a shot in the dark, honestly. I wasn't afraid to go away from home. I mean, I know going from Tampa to Massachusetts, it's a long way, and it's a step that a lot of people might not be willing to take. But, I was optimistic. I knew if I had a great support system that going away from home wouldn't be much of an issue. Um, so yeah, I'm grateful that I came here. I've gotten a lot of opportunities out of coming here. Coach Mail he's really done what he could for me, and I know he always will do what he can for me. So I'm just very appreciative that I came here. My time here has been phenomenal and something I wouldn't trade for anything.
And you mentioned Florida from Boston or Florida from Massachusetts. It's a long way, and that comes with a different climate. How have you adjusted to cold baseball and the beginnings of the seasons of February and March, where it could be anywhere from 30 to 50 degrees?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone that's been around me from the jump here can tell you that I hated it. I wanted to go back home so bad, but I stuck it out really because it really gives you that kind of mentality that you can get through this, like the cold weather, you can get through anything. And it's something that I've really embraced. I try not to, let the cold affect me too much. I mean, now with us being my fourth year up here, it doesn't really affect me at all as I've gotten used to it. But I mean, it's definitely been a rough go. Having played up here in cold weather, it's something that you think you'll be okay. Like for me personally, I always underestimate the cold weather. So like whether it's how I dress, when I go out, whatever, I always underestimate it, and then it hits you like a brick wall. But it's something that I try to just push through and know that like everyone's in this together. Um, Especially like when we're playing an opponent, both teams have to play in the same weather. So it's a matter of who can toughen up and just get through it.
Yeah, that is certainly a way to think about it. And hey, being in Florida helped you adjust to Futures League summers. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
and you've had a few of those Futures League summers. You've been in the league since 2022. I want to ask, I mean, this is probably pretty obvious, but maybe outside of the championship, what have been your best moments as a Futures Leaguer?
Yeah, I can go all the way back to my Pittsfield days. I mean, that was a great group we had too. Coached under Kevin Donati. Um, I really enjoyed my time there. It was a great experience playing for Pittsfield. I really embraced that kind of gritty mentality as, Pittsfield is known for being gritty. Um, and then coming here to Norwich, just playing in front of a great atmosphere, great fans. I think really I can't select one particular moment because, both years have been phenomenal for me in my experiences. And winning a championship just capped it off, really.
And many are debating right now about summer ball and development and all of that. What is your advice to those who are starting summer ball?
Um, Really just understand that it's a long season and that, you're gonna go through your highs and your lows, but you can't get too down on yourself or too up on yourself because I mean, like I said, it's a long season. So you just gotta stay the course and play your game each and every day. Um, Take it pitch by pitch and not trying to do too much. Because this game will humble you. I've learned that in previous seasons. I've learned that for sure. Um, and so I've really learned over the years to just keep pushing forward really and embrace the grind of a long summer season.
Yeah, and that grind will be back in 2024. We are almost exactly 2 months away here, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Futures League baseball, it's great.
I
And
know.
Brendan, this has been a fantastic interview so far. We got one final question for you before we let you go. From Nichols to Tampa Bay, Florida baseball to Futures League baseball, what is your all-time favorite baseball memory?
Great question. Um, I would have to say, okay, so when I was 12 years old, our travel team went to Cooperstown, New York, and played at Dreams Park in that whole tournament. And we were in bracket play, and I remember we had played 4 games that whole day. We played 4 games. Our last game didn't end until like two in the morning. And yeah, and I remember playing that last game. It was a tight one. We were playing a team from Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. And I come in the last inning to shut it down. And I remember getting that third out and just the excitement and joy that everyone had, getting through that long day, playing a really tough team from Las Vegas. It's something that's really unmatched for me. Coming in that closer role and shutting it down, getting the win, moving on to the next day. That's something that I'll forever take with me.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to forget, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Brennan, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know you've been busy with baseball season, just like my co-host Matt here and
Mm.
everybody. Major League Baseball is this week. Baseball is officially back in swing. The weather's getting warmer. It's almost that time of year. But we appreciate you taking the time to join us, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. This has been season 8, episode 10 of Back to the Futures, the official podcast of the Futures League. We have new episodes coming out all throughout the offseason. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see everyone soon.